These are the most emotional LankyBox story times ever.
We reveal all kinds of sad stories, like how Justin lost the love of his life, how Adam dated his best friend Saster, and so much more.
Don't worry if these stories get too sad, because at the end, we have a story that's so funny, we couldn't stop laughing.
Let's go! Now, the story I'm gonna be telling today is when I dated my best friend's sister.
What are you talking? Okay, all right, hold on.
This story gets crazy.
I don't have a sister, so I already know you making this up.
No, my other best friend.
What are you talking? I am your only best friend.
No?
Yes? Yes, I am.
This was before.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Well, the story...
Yes, I am.
So this is a completely true story. Now, I was probably around 13 years old, and my parents sent me off to a summer camp for 2 weeks.
13 years old, so that would be last year for you?
This summer camp was in the mountains, okay?
In the mountains?
So picture a camp in the middle of nowhere.
Like some snowy mountains or some hot
No, it was
desert?
hot in the summer.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
So there was about 30 other campers besides me. At that age, I was so shy. I didn't talk to anybody. So half the campers were guys and half were girls. And this was before I really ever talked to girls, like ever.
So, you must have showed up and were like, what are these? Oh, these are what girls look like.
The second I got there, my parents dropped me off, right? And they're like, all right, have a good next 2 weeks. They left.
Okay.
I was so scared that I went to the bathroom and my nose started bleeding.
What?
Yeah, that's how nervous I was.
That's like some scary movie, spooky, middle of the woods stuff.
And then there was no toilet paper in the stall yet because they were still setting up the camp. So I was hiding and I had to use my finger to stop the nosebleed. And so I came out of the bathroom with blood all over my hands.
You came out of the bathroom. All the other campers like, did that guy just attack a small animal in the bathroom stall?
The whole point of that was saying I was terrified of this camp. They had like the introduction. So they had all the camp counselors gather all the kids around, right? And we all gathered in this big cafeteria room. At this initial meeting with the counselors, they said the rules, you have to be in bed by this time. And one of the big rules they said was there is no dating at this camp.
No dating? You're only there for 2 weeks.
Exactly.
How do you date somebody in 2 weeks?
You'd be amazed.
It takes me 2 lifetimes to date somebody. How you gonna make a relationship in 2 weeks?
See, I was like, well, that shouldn't really bother me. I'm not gonna get a girlfriend here because I haven't had one before, right?
True.
Well, what if I told you I actually got a girlfriend here?
I would say that's about as fake as Bigfoot himself.
The first friend I made at this camp, his name was Ryan.
Ryan.
And he was cooler. He was older. He was one of the 15-year-old kids there.
Wow.
And he was way cooler. He had like shaggy hair and he was like a skater dude. And here I was with my Pokemon cards and all this stuff.
You brought Pokemon cards to camp?
I got lonely.
I was like, I might not make any friends at this camp, but at least I can talk to my Pikachu.
I became friends with this Ryan guy, and he basically took me under his wing.
Where this story is headed, it sounds like you're gonna end up telling me you started dating Ryan. Because that's what this sounds like.
Well, Ryan had a younger sister at the camp named Rachel, who was my age.
Okay, I see where this is going.
So basically, at meal times when we would eat in the cafeteria, I would eat with Ryan because I was his friend, right?
Yeah, because you got to sit at the cool table.
Exactly, and basically his sister Rachel would eat with him too because she was nervous and new, right? So we all ended up eating together, me, Ryan, and Rachel.
I know this story is getting very suspenseful, but there's really only one thing on my mind, which was how was the food at the cafeteria?
It was really good.
Okay, what were you guys eating? Paint me a picture.
We had a lot of like meatballs, lasagna, mashed potatoes, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just picturing you eating a giant meatball with your new buddies. Okay. And
me and Rachel started talking more because we were already around each other.
Eating those meatballs. Yep.
So I would talk to her. We were both really shy people, but we would talk a lot more and we kind of became friends. And like, I think I would show her my Pokemon cards and she thought they were cool. Stop. She thought they were cool.
That's really how you thought you want to impress her? What if I pull out my holographic Charizard? Do you want to date me now?
I kind of started to develop, a little bit of a crush on her. I got a little more nervous when I was around her.
Slow it down. What about her drew you to her?
Well, she was a girl. She talked to me, and that was enough.
Well,
I hadn't had that before.
She was a girl and she didn't run away when I talked to her. That's all I needed.
So another thing I forgot to mention was there was no cell phone service at the camp.
What?
Because you were so high up in the mountain. We weren't allowed to text each other because we couldn't text each other.
Yeah.
So at night, the counselors let the boys and girls pass notes, written notes, in between each other. So all the boys would be in one room and all the girls would be in another. And the counselors would bring notes back and forth in between the two rooms.
Oh, it's like a primitive version of DM.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now I understand.
I had to shoot my shot, you know? I had to go for it. So I wrote a little note to Rachel and I said, hey, like, what is it like having your older brother at this camp? Ha ha ha. I had some like smiley faces.
I had some ha ha he he.
Yeah, and I sent it over to her. Now, the counselors read each message before they give it to her, right?
Oh.
Because they don't want you guys like secretly being like, yo, like let's prank someone or whatever. So they read the messages and then they give it to you, right? So the counselor took my note. He's like, okay, cool. Gave it to Rachel. I got a note back from Rachel. She's like, oh, it's so nice, haha. And then I was like, should I just go for it? Should I hope that they don't read my message?
Wait, you really took that big of a risk?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
So I said, hey, Rachel, I'll be honest. I think you're really cute and I like you.
There's no way.
I literally said that. I literally said that.
And you just were banking on the fact that they wouldn't read it?
Yeah, I crumpled it up really tiny and put it with all my other friends' notes and I'm like, oh, here's all our notes. And then they went over to pass it back and I was praying they wouldn't intercept it.
What if they read it? You would get kicked out of that camp so fast. I mean, I knew it was you from the start in the bathroom. You little note passing, bloody-handed little fiend.
The note got through.
Wow.
I got one of the cooler counselors. He didn't really look at them that closely.
Yeah.
And then he delivered it to Rachel.
I'm impressed. You might have a future working at the Justy Spy Corp, because that is impressive. Good job.
Yeah.
Message received?
I did not get a message back. So that night,
She left you on red.
Literally.
Yikes.
She left me on red and I was like, I blew it. Like I shouldn't have. Well, maybe it got intercepted. Like I started going to like, what was the worst case scenario? The next day at lunch, I was really nervous, right? Because I was like, did she read it? Did she not? Did it get intercepted? Am I gonna get in trouble?
Sitting there eating your meatballs.
So I pull up next to Rachel.
Yes.
And I set my food down.
Yes.
And I'm just kind of like, hey, how's it going? And she's like, hey, by the way, I like you too.
What?
Yeah, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. She was like, I didn't want to send one back because I was worried that they would get intercepted. This is true. This is a true story.
You ain't gotta lie to us, Adam. You ain't gotta lie to us, Adam. We like you. You ain't gotta lie to us. You really expect me to believe you just came down and like in a movie, she goes, I like you too.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. From that point forward, we hung out all the time. We were never allowed to be alone at camp. We were like, hey, like once the camp is over, like we should become boyfriend and girlfriend. The camp is over. We go home. On the drive home, I texted her and I was like, hey Rachel, it was so great to meet you. Like, I really hope we can keep hanging out. And she was like, yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
So I asked her on a date. I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. This is my one chance.
Yeah, you gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah.
So
13-year-old Adam was like, you know what? Where should I take her? To the movies. So I'm like, hey Rachel, I'd love to take you to the movies. And she said, okay, let's go. I had my dad drive me to the movies, but guess who drove her to the movies? Her brother Ryan. And her parents made Ryan sit in between us at the movies. That's not even the saddest part of the movie.
What happened?
So we finished the movie, right?
Yeah.
I said pretty much nothing to her the entire time because I was so nervous.
Yep.
So we go out to the lobby of the movie theater where they sell the popcorn and they have the games and all that stuff. My dad comes to pick me up and I see him walking up into the theater and he's like, all right, say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
This was my chance. My one chance to hug her or kiss her on the cheek.
Oh yeah, in your dreams.
And you know what I do?
Yeah, what?
I went in for the hug.
Yep.
And I hugged Ryan and then I high-fived Rachel. And then I left. I was so nervous about my dad seeing me with a girl. I hugged Ryan and then I went for the high five on Rachel. Stop. And then on the way home, she broke up with me through text. She texted me, she's like, I don't think this is gonna work out. and then we never talked again.
It's because you're a bad high fiver. That's what it is. That's what it is. You had those sweaty hands. When he high fived her, her whole hand was just covered instantly in Adam's sweat.
And that's it. We broke
the
up.
Story.
She broke up with me, and I never talked to her again.
And I never talked to another girl again in my life. Are you kidding me?
No, that was 100% real. I did not make up a single part of that.
Why would you tell me that story? Like what? Like we sat down here, do a little ha hee hee, a little fun animated story, and now I just literally feel depressed. Adam, I have a real story for you today.
Really?
This is the story of how I had an online wife. What is so funny? This happened. This is real. Now, when I get into this story, Adam, I'm gonna leave these with you, okay? I got you some tissues.
Oh, okay.
This one is pretty. This one is pretty sad. I was 10 years old.
10 years old?
I think I was in
fifth grade.
I think I was in 5th grade.
Okay.
Back then, I was a real awkward kid. Still am now, okay? But I was very, very uncomfortable in social situations. And there was this girl. Her name was Amy.
Okay.
And I liked her for probably 2 years. Okay, ever since 4th grade, I'd be on the playground just chilling, you know, minding my own business. Sometimes with friends, most of the time without friends. You know what I mean? My favorite game in 5th grade was to go down the slide as fast as I could. There's a big slide that went in a circle, and I would just jump on it and go down as fast as I could.
I can just imagine you like trying to find like the fastest way, like putting butter on the slide.
Every time I would go play on the slide, Amy, I noticed, would always be nearby, just hanging out on the monkey bars, just chilling. Now this honestly was like a real life anime. Everybody knows Justy loves anime. This was like a real life anime. I was like the quiet kid, didn't have many friends, but this one girl, we never talked, but she would be like around. I was like, this might be the one. So around this time, I was, like I said, a shy, awkward kid, but I had one true love. Well, I guess
Chicken.
I love food. Okay, I had 2 true loves. Okay, the first was food. The second was this online game called MapleStory.
Oh.
Now, a lot of people know this game. Look, Adam, honestly, I was addicted. I was full on addicted. Like literally every day when school would end, I would run home. I would get home as fast as I could.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
you were running like this.
I was Naruto.
You were.
God, I need to get back to the village hidden in the leaves. I'm gonna be the next Hokage of MapleStory. In real life, I was a noob. Like I had not that many friends. I wasn't that good in school. You know what I mean? But in MapleStory, I was a baller in MapleStory. Like you have to understand, one of my big goals was to get my account to level 120. Now, for anyone who knows now, you could do that in like a day in MapleStory. But back then, it took literally like 6 months of just like every day grinding for hours. It took like a year. Like literally, I cared more about my life in that game than out of the game. Is that crazy?
No, that's not crazy. That's just sad.
It was a little bit sad. It was a little bit sad. But it became less sad because at that time, everyone in my class slowly started to catch on and play MapleStory. So everyone, including Amy, started playing MapleStory. I would play with all the kids in class and Amy would be there too. I don't remember how it happened, but we just slowly started to just kind of like, you can like privately chat in that game 1, 2, and we would slowly start to do that over time. At that same time, everyone started playing MapleStory. I started talking to her a bit more. And then we had a school play. Like all the 5th graders were in a play together. And so Amy got cast as like the pretty, like the lead female role. She's like this like princess, like lady, very fancy. And I got cast as the jester, as the clown, okay? Which is very suiting, very fitting. And this jester is actually her servant. We would not only chat in the game, but slowly we would like hang out and like rehearse lines and just got to know each other better. This was like one of the happiest periods of my life. Cause I was playing MapleStory, having fun, chatting with this girl that I liked for 2 years.
Wait, but basically what you're saying is, in the happiest time of your life,
yes,
most of it was spent in MapleStory.
Yes.
And when you're not playing MapleStory, you're pretending to be someone else in a play.
Yes.
So when you're happiest, you're not yourself ever.
That's correct, because look at my life now. I'm just trapped in a room with Dumbo, making these videos. Blink once for help. Blink once for help, please. Somebody help me. That's true. That's true. Okay, so like I was saying, this was honestly one of the better periods of my life. I was having fun online. I was chatting with this girl I liked for 2 years. People in school started to talk to me more because they knew I knew about this game. And I was hanging out with her IRL in real life talking about this play. It was epic. It was a great time.
Do you think she liked you back? Did you know?
I know she did because we became boyfriend and girlfriend, and online we had a marriage ceremony in a Maple Story. Yes, we did. The whole guild was there.
Really?
We had a marriage ceremony in a video game. It was crazy. I had a wife, you guys.
You got married. Why did you give me these tissues though? When does this get sad?
We taken the Lanky ship into some rough waters right now.
What was it like though to have a girlfriend?
It was honestly, like I said, one of the happiest times in my life. We would hold hands on the playground, and let me tell you, her hands were nice, they were soft, they were not sweaty like these, okay? They were nice and dry, and she smelled like strawberries. I still remember that to this day. It was crazy.
Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm actually now worried because I feel like I'm invested in this relationship.
Yes?
And you gave me these tissues.
Okay, I'll explain. Not only were people talking to each other on Maple Story, but we also, back then, do you remember people had like instant messenger? It was like,
of course.
It was like Facebook chat or like DMs, but on the computer, okay? And so everyone in the class had IM, instant messenger. Now, introducing, I'm only gonna refer to this person as X, okay? No names, just X.
No longer Amy. Just
No, this
X.
is not Amy. No, this is a different person.
Oh.
This is a different girl.
Oh.
X. X is older, and X might, this is not a leak, she might be a recurring character in a future story. I might tell, I'm not sure.
Okay.
So X came into the instant messenger, and she would start messaging me, being like, oh, haha, he, just making some conversation. I didn't know this at the time, but she was also messaging Amy at the same time. And
What did she say?
X would literally come in the chat and be like, you know, we just got to know each other. And then she was like, oh, how is your relationship going? I was like, oh, you know, it's going really well. And she would ask me questions like, what is it like to spend time with Amy, etc. And I was like, oh, you know, I get really nervous, like I really like her, etc. And she would twist everything and be like, oh, you're nervous around her? That means she's not the one.
Why was she trying to break you and Amy up?
That might be for a future story.
Oh.
Okay, she came in the chat and would just like ask me and Amy all these questions. Like she'd be like, I remember she was like, oh, what is it like when you're with Amy? And I'd be like, oh yeah, sometimes Amy like blushes and turns really red when we hang out. And then she would be like, no, Justin, when a girl turns red around you, it means she doesn't like you and you're embarrassing her. And I was like, no, please. And I believed her because she was older. I was like, why would she just lie?
Oh no.
Like, why would she lie? And I didn't know this at the time. She was doing the same thing to Amy about me.
What?
I don't understand it.
What kind of person does this?
Me and Amy started to get uncomfortable around each other, and I noticed like she would be on Maple Story less often, and like when we rehearsed lines, it just didn't feel the same. It was literally like we were in an anime. Like we liked each other, but it was getting weird, and we didn't have the bravery, the courage to tell each other like what's going on.
It was like if you were the stem and Amy was the strawberry, and X took Amy and plucked her off the vine.
Yeah, okay, yes, sure. So this whole story culminates at one of my friend's birthday parties. Okay, so like I said, my life was getting better. I was making some friends. I got invited to this friend's birthday party. And naturally, what is everyone doing at the party?
Hanging out.
No, we're all on our own computers playing Maple Story, just in the same room.
Oh.
Okay? And now all the boys are there, and a lot of the girls are there too.
Amy's there?
Amy's there.
Okay.
Okay, X is not there. Everyone knew, like, oh, there's some drama going on. Like, what's going on?
Between Justin and Amy.
Between Justin and Amy, because we were like the only couple in the class.
Yeah,
like,
you guys got married.
That was my wife. Somehow, me and Amy ended up like in a closet. People were like, you guys need to go sort this out.
Wait.
Yeah, we were in a closet. I don't really know why. People thought that was appropriate at the time. And we both just looked at each other, and it was so sad. We were just like, I think we have to break up. I'm noticing all these signs. It's getting awkward. We just have to break this up. But like, we didn't know at the time that X had come in and talked to both of us on the side.
Can you get a divorce in Maple Story?
No, I don't think so.
So you're technically still married to her?
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that was the whole relationship.
I do need these, man.
That was the whole relationship. Guys,
I'm sad now.
There's a serious moral to that story. Even if you're afraid to tell someone how you feel, you just do it anyways because you never know what's going on behind the scenes. And if I had just said something, we wouldn't have had to break up.
Do you know where Amy is now?
Amy's chilling now. I'm still friends with her on Facebook. She's got a great relationship. I'm still here, single as a Pringle, making videos with this guy.
Alright guys, that's gonna do it. So make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you want more of this type of series, or if you want to find out more. I'm curious now about the mystery story with X. But Justin, wait, you have to figure this out. Are you actually still technically married to Amy?
That's actually a good question. I don't know. I need to actually make a call to my lawyer. Yes, hello? I need to file for online divorce. Okay?
Justin,
No.
I'm gonna be telling you a pretty crazy story today.
Okay.
It is the story of when I cheated with my crush in middle school.
What are you talking about?
This happened when I was in 8th grade. As you guys know, when I was younger, I was very shy, I was very skinny and lanky, and no girls really ever talked to me.
That's not any different now.
Okay, so in 8th grade, I had a crush on a girl named Amber, right? She was one of the more popular girls.
Yeah.
Had a lot more friends than me.
It's not harder to have more than 0. But okay, continue.
And she had a boyfriend at the time named Jacob. Now Jacob, I want you to picture basically me, except for a little taller, a lot more muscular, better looking, funnier, more handsome. Basically just me, but better.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to find a way to convince her to leave Jacob.
Yes.
And become my girlfriend instead.
You were trying to get her to cheat?
Well, no, I'm not trying to get her to cheat.
Adam, you are a bad influence on our audience. Guys,
no.
do not do this.
No, I had to prove to her that I was better than Jacob. And what did I have that was better than Jacob? I was smarter.
A bigger neck. Right, the brain. But also you had the ability to reach the sweetest fruit on the trees. Did you ever try that? You're gonna be like, hey,
No.
I could grab the sweetest fruits, and Jacob cannot.
Me and Amber were in the exact same math class. Okay, and we were getting ready for this big test.
Yes.
So the teacher gave us this big practice packet of problems to work on.
Oh, that's the worst.
I know,
it's
right?
It's the test before the test.
Exactly. But he said you could partner up with someone. So I was like, okay, here's my chance. I'll partner up with Amber.
Oh, yeah, right. Like you came over like, hey, Amber, want to be partner? Yeah, right. Well, it was probably everyone else had a partner, and Amber was like, I gotta go work with this Adam kid in the corner.
Well, she knew I was smart. As I was saying, I got paired up with Amber.
Yeah?
I was like, here's my chance.
Yeah.
We're gonna be partners. We're gonna work through this packet.
Time to flex these big brain
Exactly.
muscles.
I was like, Amber, we should work on this outside of class, so let me get your number.
Oh, yeah, right.
That
Yeah, right, Adam. Hey, to the animator, could you just do something where Adam's character has a big nose, like Pinocchio? Like it gets longer over the course of this video? Why would you lie?
I'm not lying.
You told me to come here so you could tell me a little story. You didn't tell me to come here so you could tell me a bunch of lies. All right, whatever. All right,
So
keep
we
going.
exchanged contact information. I was like, yo, Amber, let's work on this. We'll work through the packet. Don't worry, I got you. I know how to do most of this stuff. Now, I'm gonna be honest, most of the time we were just talking about, okay, what did you get for question 16? We would text each other back and forth, make sure we got the same answers right. I tried to flirt a little bit through text. You know, I might have, talked about my Pokemon cards, which I still collected in 8th grade.
Hey, Amber, what's 1 + 1? Guess what? It's less than 3. Justin with those high IQ math pickup lines.
I get it, because it looks like a heart.
Just you really had to explain that.
So we worked through the practice test together, right? It was all great. We did well. There was this big test on Friday. That was what we were practicing for. So the day comes, it's Friday. I'm already in the class because I get to class kind of early. She walks in, she's like, hey, Adam, like, thanks for working with me. By the way, I didn't really study, and I don't think I'm gonna do well on this test. Could I copy off you?
Yo, that's why she picked you as her partner. You got used for for your math skills.
Yeah. Now I was put in a very tricky situation. Because do I say, no, sorry, Amber, you can't copy, and ruin the chance of me getting with her? Or do I say yes, then she copies off me, she gets a good grade, and then she falls in love with me?
You know how people say, oh, that person's a gold digger?
Yeah.
She was a grade digger. Are you serious? She used you. You got played.
Yeah.
So what'd you do?
I
You let her
cheated.
cheat. You let her cheat?
I let her cheat. Yep, I said, all right, Amber.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You compromised your morals just to get, I don't even know, you thought you make this a girlfriend?
My plan was, she copies off me, she gets a good test grade, then she's like, okay, when I work with Adam, good things happen in my life, I should date him and then more good things will happen in my life. It doesn't really make sense when I say it now, but 8th grade Adam, I didn't really think
You know
that
what?
far.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't have a girlfriend up until then, so I didn't know what to do.
This is the only way you knew how to impress a girl was to cheat.
Or Pokemon cards.
Or
One of the two has to work.
you're like, okay, well, I whipped out my Pikachu on her and it did impress her. So now I gotta just break the law.
So now the teacher passes out the test. We're in the middle of it. She sits right next to me. I can see that she's copying off me. I kind of do one of these, you know, where I'm kind of leaning. I kind of let her look at my test. We both take the test. I felt great about it. I was like, I know I already aced this.
Adam, you realize this story is about how you cheated and lied. So why would I believe anything you're telling me?
Because I'm not in 8th grade anymore.
You still play with Pokemon cards? Not much has changed.
So she cheats off me. We both finish the test. We both turn it in. And then we just kind of sit back down and wait for the bell to ring as other people finish.
How did you feel? Did you feel good about yourself?
I didn't feel good, but I realized, like, okay, now that worked, I can go talk to her more and be like, hey, I already have your number. Hey, do you want to maybe, you know, hang out with me?
At this point, she's still dating Jacob? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah.
I cannot be around you, Adam. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
Is it that cringy?
Dude, this is literally like, you know how sometimes you see in a movie, it's like the girl is with the not so good guy, and then she learns that the nice guy was the right guy along?
Yeah.
That's like you, except she doesn't end up with you.
So we finished the test.
Yes.
All is good. I'm like, this is my chance. The bell rings, all the kids start to leave, and then the teacher says, Adam and Amber, can you stay after?
Oh, no.
And my heart sank.
Yep.
Especially when I was younger, I did not like getting in trouble. I was very teacher's pet. And when he said, Adam and Amber, can you stick around? I went so pale. Because I realized, like, oh no, what is he gonna ask? All the other kids leave, me and Amber are still sitting there. And the teacher's like, so I know that you guys were cheating off of each other because you guys have the same answers. I know that one of you was copying off the other. Who was it?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. You're gonna say you took the fall. Is that how you're gonna end this story? Do it, Dumbo. Lie.
I didn't lie.
Lie to me and everyone else. That's how you're gonna end the story? You're gonna say, I heroically took the fall for Amber.
In my brain.
In your shining armor.
You have to realize, my priorities, it was like, get a girlfriend was #1. Be a good person was like below that. I had to do anything. I was desperate. I was like, I didn't want to throw her under the bus. So I took the bus.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Adam. Yeah, right. End this story. Timmy says, why? Why you lie? Why you lie to us? Why you lie?
I kind of got in trouble. He basically said, I'm disappointed in you guys. So me and Amber walk out of class together, heads down, we're all embarrassed. And her boyfriend was also in that same class. So he was waiting for her outside. He was waiting for her to walk to the next class. And he was basically like, oh, Amber, like, what happened? And she was like, oh, we got caught cheating. And then he's like, oh, weird. And then they both just walked away. And I was left alone. Like, that was my chance. I was waiting for her to be like, oh, like, Adam took the fall, and now I'm gonna get with him. Sorry, Jacob. But then they just walked off together holding hands, and I was just there, embarrassed and sad.
Even when you make things up, it still ends up sad.
It's not made up.
Why didn't you just make up a happy ending? Why didn't you just say at the end, she threw Jacob aside and left into my arms?
Because that's not
Your
what
nose
happened.
already about this big. Just keep going.
This teaches you that cheating does not ever pay off.
It teaches you also that lying on the internet does not make you look cooler. There is a 0% chance 0% chance.
What do you think happened? Lay it out for me. What do you actually think happened?
Here's what I think happened. Here's the whole story. Adam is sitting in class, staring at Amber like this. Like this, and she's with Jacob. They're just perfectly nice people. I'm sure very smart. Adam's in the back, like the guy in the anime who's just in the back, like that, just staring. He's coated in sweat, and that's the whole story.
That's it.
There is no plot. No, you never said anything. Now, Adam, you might notice today I'm a little bit suited
You're
up.
looking good, dude.
I got my business suit on today because today the story I'm gonna be telling you and the Lanky fam is the origins of the CEO of Justy Corp International Inc., aka Chief Fitness Officer, aka #1 businessman.
You.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about how when I was in 3rd grade, I started my very first business for a school project. It was called the Paperclip Pals, and I have to, hold on. Let me explain. Stop. Let me explain. Now, like any good story, I started my business for one reason. Can you guess what that is?
A girl.
Yes, it was not for
Really?
money. It was to win the girl. Yes, I was in 3rd grade, okay, and there was a girl in my class named Janice. I'm the quiet kid sitting in the back of the classroom, and I'm like, Janice? Justy, our names kind of sound the same.
JJ.
It's fate. It's
JJ.
It's fate. It's fate.
J and Bay.
Okay.
I didn't even think about that.
True. Okay. I was a very quiet kid in 3rd grade. Okay, very well behaved. Okay. Actually, the teacher had a system in class back in 3rd grade where everybody's name was on a board. Did you guys have this?
Yeah.
With like the cards.
Yup.
Dude, this is child abuse. I will be honest. Okay. We had everybody's name up on the wall, and everyone had a card, and it starts green.
Yup.
And if you misbehave,
You get a yellow.
you got a yellow. And if you misbehave again,
You get a red.
You get a red. And then your parents have to get talked to by a teacher. Okay, now you already know there's a bunch of yellow on the board. There's a bunch of red, because, you know, kids misbehaving. Hey, guess
What color were you, Justin?
Hey, you already know. I was all green. I was the best behaved kid in class. I honestly was well behaved, but honestly, part of it was because I tried to impress Janice. I was like,
So you thought if you didn't get in trouble, she'd be like, wow, that guy never gets in trouble. I don't like dating bad boys. I want a good boy. I'm gonna get with Justin.
yes, exactly. I had not yet listened to Red Velvet. I didn't know girls like bad boys. I thought she wanted a good boy. Basically, in 3rd grade, I was very awkward, very shy. But I thought, look, if I want to get noticed by Janice, I gotta do something crazy. I gotta stand out. You know what I mean? So, our final project in 3rd grade, it was a paper airplane competition.
Okay, so this was like the big final project at the end of the year.
Oh,
that was
man.
like a big part of your grade.
I was sweating. I was crunching the numbers.
I can imagine you on your laptop. You got MapleStory in one tab and like a paperclip document in the other, and you're just typing like crazy.
I got the NASA documents, like the aerodynamics. No, okay. So this is a class-wide competition. It's every kid versus every kid. Only one winner will emerge. It's like the Hunger Games, but in 3rd grade. But instead of attacking people, we had paper airplanes, okay? I thought if I won, Janice will notice me, and also, after the contest, we were gonna have an ice cream party.
Oh.
So that was my chance.
Okay, so your goal was to win the paper airplane contest.
Yes.
Then take Janice, after you've impressed her, on a date to the ice cream party.
Oh, I was gonna ask for her hand in marriage
Now,
at the party.
had you talked to Janice at all before this?
Not once in my life.
Did she know you existed?
I don't. Looking back on it, not at all. Actually, I have to explain how this contest works. There's a bunch of different events, like who can get their plane the farthest,
Right.
Whose plane can stay in the air the longest, or who could like hit a target like the most accurate. The key was everybody starts with a different resource. So you might have like tape. I had paper clips. That's what I was assigned. Okay, someone else had scissors, and so the whole idea is everyone needs to work together and trade like a business.
Oh, so you would be like, I'll trade you 10 paper clips to use your scissors.
Yes,
Something
exactly.
like that.
And the scissors guy would be
okay.
like, you can only have them for 5 minutes. And you'd be like, how about for 7 minutes if I throw in another paper clip? It was very intense. So you already know I have my little desk, my little table, and I made a little sign in the front that was called Paperclip Pals. I sell paper clips.
Well, you didn't have friends, so it would have been paperclip pal. Just one. Just one pal.
Paperclip person. It's just me. Look, I had no friends, and also nobody wanted to buy paper. Why would you use a paper clip on a plane?
It would weigh it down.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
No one wants it.
No business. Business a little bit slow today. But I thought, look, I need to get really good with one sheet of paper. I got one sheet and that's it. I got no other resources. It was me versus everybody else. It was like I was in an anime. Let's go. I had one friend back then. She didn't go to school with me. She was like a neighborhood friend.
Was it your mom?
It was my grandma. It was a girl my age and her name was Natalie. She was like a neighborhood friend.
Why didn't you like her?
She
actually talked to you.
I don't know. My IQ had not yet reached 900 by this point.
Oh.
I didn't understand how romance worked. One of Natalie's hobbies was origami.
Okay.
And she used to teach me about folding, about all this different stuff. So actually, I was getting private lessons in the art of paper sorcery. So all these kids out here trading their resources for scissors, I'm like, I could just fold this and rip it.
Okay, this sounds a lot like Natalie liked you and you didn't realize it until like 5 years later. Like, she's teaching you origami. She's probably doing one of these where she's like helping you fold the paper.
Stop touching my hand.
Do you realize she probably liked you?
I realize
you
that
had a girl that liked you and you traded her for a girl that didn't even talk to you.
That is the story of my life, Adam. I must have folded over 1,000 paper. Just imagine my room covered in airplanes.
It's got like some like Eye of the Tiger like theme action music, just folding paper.
I was sweating. I had a headband. It was legendary. I still had not sold a single paper clip up until this point. But I basically developed the most legendary paper aircraft of all time. Adam, I folded so many of these. I literally spent hundreds of hours. I folded so many of these that even now, I folded one today, right here.
Wait, this is the airplane?
This was my airplane.
Is this a joke?
Guys, this is one sheet of paper. It is perfectly aerodynamically crafted to just, this thing,
Wait, this is your paper airplane?
That was my paper airplane.
This is a paper square plane. That was pretty good.
Okay, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
This was going to carry me to my dreams. I could already vision me and Janice on a huge version of this, flying through the galaxy together in love. That was my dream. This is an inspirational story. I turned my weakness into my strength because you know what I did? I said the paperclip pals are closed for business, everybody. I refused to trade with anyone. You wanna know why? Because I stuck all 100 of my paper clips on this thing.
Wait, so you made a square from paper and you just covered it with paper clips?
Yeah, so basically, on the big day.
And all the other kids showed up with actual paper airplanes. And then Justy Chroma whipping it out in the back like Yu-Gi-Oh! With the secret trap card, just putting it out.
Everybody else had their little planes, little dingy planes. I was basically throwing around like a metal tennis ball. Like it was not even close. People were like, how far can you get? I was just like, it was like I was throwing a rock. I won every event. I smoked everybody.
Really?
With one sheet of paper because it was just a metal ball. I just won. Okay, now.
What did your teacher think? More importantly, what did Janice think?
This is where the story takes a bit of a tragic turn. I thought in my head, Janice, the teachers, everybody, all my classmates must be like, wow, he's so smart. He figured out how to turn his weakness of paper clips into a strength. But you know what was actually happening?
What?
Everyone was just super annoyed and like, this guy cheated. They're like, this guy has no friends and this is why. He cheated. I was ready. I was like, guys, where's my trophy? And where's Janice? I'm ready to ask for her hand in marriage. But the teacher came up to me and you know what they said?
What?
They said, Justy, you are disqualified.
Really?
I was actually disqualified. And you know what else? They said I had bad sportsmanship and I was banned from the ice cream party.
So you had to sit inside, probably.
I actually did,
in some hot classroom while all the kids, including Janice, are outside.
They were on the field
eating ice cream.
Yep. So you know some stories end with, you know, the hero gets the girl, he gets the prize. Or sometimes he just gets one and loses the other.
Yeah.
I lost both.
Okay, I just feel sad now because I'm just picturing everyone just eating ice cream, having a good time, and you just crying, looking at your name with the green next to it, thinking, no, I am loved. People still like me.
You know, Adam, I really did everything I could to try and get Janice to like me. You know, I had the green behavior card. I tried to win the competition to win her heart. I tried to turn into a bad boy, but ultimately, I was left a sad boy. At the end of the day, I know it's a sad story, but I was proud of myself. I turned a disadvantage into an advantage, and I did win. They never said I couldn't do that. They just made up the rules later. There's a real moral here. Because I realized, look, hey, the teachers might not like you. The other kids might not like you. Janice might not like you. But I liked myself. I respected myself because I won. I beat the odds. That's the moral of the story.
Well, you know what the real moral is?
What?
If you're not good enough, just cheat. Hey, Justin, I'm gonna be telling you a story
Okay.
of why I loved school lunches.
Okay. Who does it?
I know, okay, so when you were growing up, like elementary school,
Yes.
did you get to order school lunch?
I did once in a while, and those were great days.
Right?
Oh, man.
Right, okay,
Oh, man.
so this story gets intense.
Okay.
Actually intense. You might start sweating.
I'm an intense person, but the sweating is all you. Okay, and those clammy hands.
Okay.
But before we get into Adam's story today, guys, we want to take a minute to thank our sponsor for today's episode, Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll!
Now, Adam, you know how much we both love anime, right?
You love anime more than you love food.
Okay, that's a lot. Okay.
I just finished the first season of My Hero.
Okay,
I'm
let's
on
go.
to the second season.
I highly recommend to Adam and everyone else watch Your Lie in April. That's
Okay.
some real sad feels anime. One of my favorites.
Wait, how are we gonna watch it?
On Crunchyroll, of course.
Oh!
Crunchyroll is dedicated to offering the best anime experience you can find outside of Japan. Crunchyroll brings over all the hottest, the freshest new anime, and actually a portion of all the premium memberships goes back to the original creator. Some of the fan favorites on there, you know, they got My Hero, they got One Piece, they got Black Clover, they got Attack on Titan. If you want to watch some crazy stuff go down, okay? And you can try Crunchyroll Premium for free for 14 days by using the link in our description or by using crunchyroll.com/LankyBox. Use the link in our description box. Let's go.
Okay, so this story starts when I was in 5th grade. I was 10 years old.
Okay.
Now, how it was set up was every day you could order school lunch. It was like $2 or $3,
Yes.
right? My mom at the start of the year put in enough money so I could have 5 school lunches a year.
What?
Every other day, I had to bring my own lunch. And if I own lunch, it would be like some like peanut butter and jelly and like some apples.
Wait,
that got, like,
I
crust.
thought you were gonna say 5 a week or
No.
5 a month.
No.
5 a year.
5 school lunches per year.
What was your mom's reasoning for that?
She thought that food from our house was healthier.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
which is
okay.
fair. It probably is.
Yeah, probably.
Now, at my school, I don't know about you guys where you are, if you're in the United States or not, but at my school we had like classic stuff like pizza. Chicken nuggets,
oh,
burgers,
my corn dogs.
corn dogs, we
Oh,
had
my
burgers,
God.
stuff like
All
that.
my favorite foods in one
Exactly.
place.
Exactly. But when I brought lunch from home, it was always the same thing. It was a sandwich and some apples and maybe some crackers.
You're forgetting the grass. You're forgetting the sweet, sweet fruits from the top of the tree, but that's okay. Sandwich is pretty good.
Now, normally, because I would bring it in a lunchbox, right? It would get all crushed.
Yes.
And so I would be sitting at the table. All right, here we go. Take out my PB&J. It's all crushed. I look over my friend. He's got a nice plate with a big burger and a corn dog. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, that's your friend wouldn't share? Did you ask, hey, could I have a little bit?
No.
Oh, that's that's not a real friend.
Would you have shared with me?
Absolutely not. Come on now. Hey, you already know if I was in that cafeteria with you, I have about 6 burgers and about 400 chicken nuggets.
Can I have some?
Absolutely not. No.
So another thing I forgot to mention was that on Fridays at my school, they had this special thing where they would give us popcorn. So they would have like one of the parents' moms volunteer to make popcorn, and my mom was one of those moms.
Oh, man.
So once a month on Friday, she would come and make popcorn, and every kid could buy a bag for 25 cents.
Oh, it's not free? I thought it was free.
25 cents.
What a ripoff. Your school's running a business.
So my mom would sometimes come in, right? And it was always like a great time.
Once
like,
a month.
Yeah, once a month.
Okay.
It was always fun. She would always come over to me. She sometimes like sneak me like a free popcorn.
Your mother is embezzling popcorn from the school. No, I'm reporting that.
One day I was like, I want to use one of my 5 school lunches.
Oh,
Today's
man.
the day.
Why? But like, why?
I was feeling myself. I was like, I gotta flex, you know, I want to be like the cool kids. Because I would see everyone line up and they'd look so cool. And I'd just be sitting there at the table alone eating my sandwich. Because most kids ordered lunch.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, okay, what I want is a burger and some white milk. Just normal milk. That is my dream meal.
A burger and milk.
That's what I want to eat. So I get in line, I punch in my number, whatever. So I grab my tray, I point to the thing, she puts it on.
Oh, man.
I keep going, and I go to grab the milk, and I'm like, wait, this is a fish wish. This is a fish sandwich.
What's a fish wish?
It's like a burger, except for instead of
You really
burger,
said fish wish. What's a fish wish?
it's a fish burger.
Put it back. Get a regular burger.
I was already too far down the line, and I was too scared to go like back. I thought I would get in trouble, and they would like not give me anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You already know me. I don't mess with no fish wishes up in here. Give me a real burger. You were too scared?
Yeah. I was like,
no.
man, I got a fish sandwich. So I grabbed my milk, whatever, put it on, went to my table, put it down. I was so sad.
You wasted your 1 out of 5 on a fish wish.
Yeah, and I go to sit down at the table. I open my milk, and I start to drink it, and it's pink.
What?
I'm like, what is this? And it says on the carton, strawberry. I was like, no! Because the white milk and the strawberry milk both come in white cartons.
You had one job. Get a burger and the regular milk. And you got a fish wish and some strawberry milk. You trolling.
My day was ruined.
Yeah.
I was literally about to cry. You guys don't know how important this was to me.
I was literally, you were definitely crying.
Eating the fish wish.
I don't want a fish wish.
So I basically was just depressed the entire day, probably the entire
The
week.
entire month, honestly.
Yeah.
My whole year would be ruined. I had to eat a fish wish.
Have you never had a fish wish?
That's not what it's called. It's called a fish sandwich. Why'd you call it a fish wish? Like,
Because I wish to never eat this fish.
When I said that the first time, I thought it was literally a fish that grants you a wish.
So I used one of my precious school lunches and I just belly flopped. Just everything went wrong.
A tragedy.
Sad.
A tragedy.
Now, during this time, my mom, for some reason, wanted to make our entire family vegetarian for like a whole year. I think it was because she wanted to go on a diet that was vegetarian, and since she cooked for everyone, she was like, all right, well, all of us are vegetarian
Wow,
now.
your mom's a savage.
Yeah.
Your mom's like, y'all doing what I'm telling you, and I don't want to hear no buts.
And she was basically like, if I catch you eating meat, you'll be in trouble. Because she wanted to make sure everyone was vegetarian. Right?
And you know, this guy likes to eat burgers. If you know what I'm saying.
So, you already know me, I don't like getting in trouble. I was just like you when you were younger. I was straight A's, so I'm not eating any meat. So flash forward a couple months, right? It's probably like December, Christmas time. I'm like, I'm gonna use another one of my school lunches.
Oh man.
Now, it was probably like a Friday. I was feeling good. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get the lunch that I want. So I was like, well, what's the lunch I want?
What is the lunch you want?
The burger and the milk. What I
you
wanted
want
to
the
get the
same thing.
first time. But I was like, wait a minute. A burger is meat. I'm not supposed to eat this.
Oh man.
So then you get that kind of like, ooh, I'm doing something wrong. This kind of feels good.
You get a rush.
Right, exactly. So I go to the
Adam
line.
gets a rush when he's eating those burgers.
So I go into the line. I'm confident this time. I'm like, I know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Punch in the number. Say to lunch lady, I'd like one burger. She's like, okay, there's your burger. I made sure it was a burger this time.
Yeah, you even
I'm
checked
like,
it.
yep.
You said
I'm like,
there's no fish in this wish. No.
I go grab the milk, make sure it's the right milk, put it on the tray. I sit down. Boom. I got my meal that I wanted. I did it my way. So I pick up my burger. I'm about to go in for a big bite. And who do I see walk into the lunchroom? My mom!
Oh, what?
It was popcorn day.
Oh.
And she was in charge of the popcorn.
You idiot! This happens once a month. How did you do that?
I don't know. I was so caught up in the burger, I just couldn't think. My brain got all foggy. So I see her walking in, wheeling this popcorn machine in. She got the popcorn in one hand, wheeling the machine. She's all smiling. I'm in the lunchroom. I got my tray.
Oh, man.
And I was one of the first ones to sit down because I ran into the lunchroom that day.
Naturally.
I was the first one. All my other friends were still in line.
Oh.
So here I was alone, and she knows where I sit. She knows what class I'm in. She knows where to find me.
So she's like, I look for the kid sitting by himself with no friend. I know where my son is.
So I'm like, okay, I have this burger. I have to hide it because I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, do I take the patty out and like put it in my pocket?
What?
Do I try and eat the burger really quick so she can't see that I ordered a burger? Because like she said, you cannot eat meat. And she said I get in trouble if I ate meat.
So you really consider taking the patty out and hiding it?
Yeah. I was considering like switching my tray with someone else, but I didn't have any friends.
True.
I didn't have anyone to switch it with.
Oh, man.
So I started sweating. I was panicking. Here she comes. She's walking over with the popcorn machine. She sees me. She's waving, and she starts walking over, kisses me on my head, and she's like, I thought I told you not to eat meat. I was like, oh yeah, sorry. She was like, okay, just in the future, just get like a salad or something. I was like, okay. And then she just walked away. That was it. I didn't even get in trouble.
That was a lot of buildup to not that.
I didn't even get in trouble.
I thought she was about to say, put some Roblox sounds in there. Are you kidding me? That's all she said?
That's literally it.
Wow.
Maybe she didn't give me free popcorn that day.
Wow.
But like that was it. And the moral is, I guess if you don't want to live in constant fear, just do the right thing. Today we have a pretty special animation. We are going to be talking about our terrible haircut experiences. Now, I've had some pretty bad haircuts in my life. Have you?
I mean, I've had some crazy ones.
So I'm gonna tell a story, and do you also have a story?
I got a story, but before we get into that, Adam, everybody check out the merch.
Guys, so many of you guys have sent us photos of you guys who have bought Boxy or bought the merch, and it's so awesome. So definitely keep sending us that. Check out the merch, it'll be linked down below, or you can click the card right here, and let's get into the story. Now, this story starts when I was in 6th grade.
Oh, man.
Now, you need to understand. At this point in my life, 6th grade is the year when you go from a 5th grader elementary school baby stuff to 6th grade middle school. The older kids, there's girls, you're starting to mature a bit. Now, when I was in 5th grade, I was pretty boring. I kind of looked like a nerd. So I was like, you know what? 6th grade, first day of school, I want to roll in there looking like an actual bad boy.
Like a baller.
Yeah. I was listening to some rock music. You know, I might have listened to some Red Velvet's Bad Boy. I wanted to be a bad boy. So I started wearing like some black clothes that had like broken hearts on it. Like I wanted to be like an edgy teen.
You wore a t-shirt with a broken heart on it?
Yeah, I was like an e-boy even back then.
Whose hearts were you breaking? Only one. Your mom's.
Yeah. I had this idea in my mind where 5th grade, I was a nerd. I didn't have any girlfriends, obviously. 6th grade, I'm a new me. I'm gonna reinvent myself. I'm gonna walk in on the first day of school and just be that cool dude that sits in the back. Just all edgy, all the girls looking at him like, wow.
Big on TikTok with the e-boy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was the summer going into 6th grade. I was like, I'm gonna grow my hair out. And then right before school starts, I'm gonna get my hair cut in like a really cool, like bad boy way where it's like jagged and like kind of long.
What you mean jagged?
Like some bangs in the front, like covering one of my eyes, like that type of stuff. I was gonna look cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, so back in elementary school, my mom cut all my hair because we just wanted to save money, and it's like, why does it matter?
That's
cut
smart.
Your hair, right?
That's smart. Yeah.
So she would always sit me down in the kitchen, put me in a chair, cut my hair the same way. It was always like really nerdy.
True.
So this time I was like, Mom, you need to understand, this is not the normal routine. I want to cut my hair to look like a bad boy. So she's like, oh, I got you.
You pulled out the phone. You pulled out TikTok. Found some e-boys. I want to look like them. She said, that's not possible. You better uninstall that app.
So I'm like, okay, I had this idea in my mind because on the first day of school is also picture day. So I was like, dude, I gotta look fresh for these pictures. So I'm like, Mom, school starts in a couple days. I need you to give me a haircut. I want to have this cool like bangs with the jagged edges. And,
dude, okay, put a pause. Your relationship with your mom is so interesting. Like, you just boss her around. What is this? You're like,
no.
Mom, it's your first day at school and you look super cool.
No.
You're gonna cut this way
She was like pumped. She was like, dude, I'm gonna make you look so cool. Like, I promise.
Yeah.
We were like pumping each other up.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we don't have a mirror in my kitchen where she cuts my hair, so I can't see what's going on. My mom starts to cut my hair. I'm like, okay, remember, Mom, like, remember what I told you? She's like, Adam, don't worry, I got this. Now, she starts to cut, whatever, like she uses the razor, cuts it all nice and short, kind of goes around, like, it doesn't really feel like...
I don't feel like an e-boy yet.
But maybe this is like part of the process.
My mom been cutting my hair for 2 minutes. My TikTok DMs are still empty. Why?
And I remember she literally took the razor, like the electric razor, and just went completely in a circle around my head. I was like,
why?
Yes, this is gonna lead to the bad boy look. I don't know, like, and so she went in a complete circle, and she was like, "Okay, I'm done." I was like, "What?" And I could only feel it. I was like, "It feels kind of weird."
Wait. She went around like this?
Yeah, like a perfect circle.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's like a bowl cut. I'm like, all right, I guess this is the new me. Like, I gotta go see what this looks like.
Yeah.
And I remember so clearly, I walked to the bathroom. The light was turned off. I kind of was like, okay, mentally ready. Like, oh, this is the new me. Walk into the bathroom, turn on the light, look in the mirror.
Yeah.
I literally started crying. Literally. I screamed.
Why?
Because I look so ugly.
Dude, that wasn't the haircut.
Dude, I literally look like the biggest square of all time. Just such a nerd.
Why are you gonna put your mom on blast? See, dude, you literally so salty about this haircut. You've been waiting 10 years to tell this story.
Dude, I literally had the outfit on point. It was all black. It had hearts and tears and angels on it. I was like, dude, I need to look like a bad boy. And it was just not right. I just look like just a nerd.
Okay,
And that's basically it. That was the worst haircut of my life.
Okay, that actually kind of ties into my haircut story. Now, funny enough, Adam, now this is not scripted. I actually went through a very similar phase. I feel like a lot of people go through this kind of phase where they try to be like a bad boy, you know what I mean? I was listening to a lot of heavy music. I was dressing in like a bunch of dark colors, you know, real moody. Yeah, so you know, I was like 13-ish. I was listening to edgy music. I was watching lots of anime. I said, I want to look like one of these guys, okay?
In the anime?
Yeah, in the anime, you already know. So, I decided, I was like, I have to get attention from like people to make friends and also girls somehow. I said, I gotta be different. You know what I mean?
Wait, hold up. What did your hair look like up until this point?
I basically always had it like very short, like almost like a buzz cut.
Just like really boring.
Really simple.
Gotcha.
Really plain and simple. I said, I gotta glow up. I decided I'm gonna grow my hair as long as possible. Now I actually don't think that you ever knew me at this point. I used to have hair down to my shoulders. What is that? What is that face?
I'm just trying to imagine what that would look like.
Dude, it was actually really intense.
Would you do the thing where you go like this?
Yeah, okay, that's part of the story.
Really?
That's actually part of the story.
Dude.
So, dude, every part, like, you have to understand for guys, there's a certain threshold when you grow your hair out. It gets to a certain point where it gets in your eyes, and then you have to go like this.
You gotta flip it like
all
Justin Bieber used to do.
All the time, okay? I literally, part of this story was I started to develop neck pain because I was going like this, like 400, and it still hurts now.
People just think you're dancing.
Yeah, growing your hair out is such a process. It probably took me like a year, almost 2 years, and it got down to my shoulder. Okay, now at that level, you not only have to swish, you have to do a lot of maintenance, you know, you do a lot of products, you know, it was a very hard thing to take care of. As the hair grows out, you know, it enters like the danger zone.
Wait, was it worth it though? Like, were you getting more attention from girls the longer and longer your hair got?
I actually kind of was, but it wasn't necessarily like good attention. It was just like, wow, he's very different, kind of looks a little bit weird. He always looks like he just got out of bed, basically. The long hair was cool, but there were some major problems. The maintenance is really tough, okay? You had to do this thing a lot, okay? And also, like, when it was summer, it would get super hot. And then I would end up super sweaty. You know what that's like, okay? That's not fun. And then I was actually, like in high school, I was a swimmer, right? I was on the swim team, so we'd have morning practices. And then this one day changed my whole life. I got out of the pool and my hair was still wet, right? It was still wet. I was walking to class. Okay, this was during the winter. And my hair had literally frozen. Dude, it froze because it was so long.
Wait, so you just had like icicles for hair?
Dude, it literally froze because it was so long. Like, when your hair is shorter, it's like, I don't know, it's like closer to your head, so it's warmer, so it doesn't freeze. When it's really long, it froze, and then a piece of it chipped off.
Wait, what?
That's not a joke. It actually just broke off.
Does that happen to like girls with long hair?
I don't know, but it happened to me. That was the turning point where I said, no more.
Dude, that's dangerous.
It was bad. Okay, I basically threw an icicle when I did that. But I decided at that point, I said, no more, it's over. And I went home and I bought a razor. I bought an electric shaver that same day, and I buzzed my entire head. 2 years of growing hair out. down the drain. So, you know, on the bright side, the maintenance was better. My neck pain got a little bit better. My hair was not snapping off anymore. But there is one big negative to when Justy has very short hair.
What?
I basically look like I'm a toddler.